Zach Wilson. We talk about him every week, but he is the Niners draft crush. A lot of people around here compare him to Aaron Rodgers. He just played last night. If you're watching this, it was Tuesday night, right? Tuesday night.
Yep.
In a bowl game against UCF, and he tore him apart like he's torn apart every team except for Coastal Carolina this season. My question is, what do you think of him now? And also, I recently posted an article from Walter Football questioning his character, saying he's a brat, he's a diva, he's a know-it-all. He has apparently ADHD. So did Michael Jordan, apparently. Now we're starting to see some slander because he was under the radar. Now he's might be the number 2 pick. That's a really long question. I haven't even asked a question yet. What do you think of his fit with the 49ers after seeing and learning more about him is the question.
I like Zach Wilson. I feel like he would be a great fit for Kyle Shanahan's offense. I like his mobility. I like his arm talent. The character concerns, and before I get into the character concerns, I feel like it's fair to question his stature and his durability. He's not the biggest guy, still young, still can grow into his body. He's 6'3", 210 pounds, somewhere in there. So I don't know how his mobility would hold up. But talking about the article that you shared with everybody earlier today, Grant, or posted earlier, the character concerns, the red flags aren't too great of a red flag to me because the character concerns aren't detrimental to the team or his ability to play. It's not like the concerns are going to get him suspended or do anything along those lines. And when you play the quarterback position, you have to carry yourself a certain way. And so you have to walk a fine line between confidence and cockiness and arrogance. So I don't have too great of an issue with what came out today regarding Zach Wilson. I would like him in the 49ers offense. And that's where I stand in regards to Wilson.
Good argument. Jack, I think you're going to have a different take.
Well, I don't have, in regards to the personal things like that came up in the article today. We saw that last year with Nick Bosa, so I can't take that with a grain of salt at this time. That was, if you remember before, in the run up to the draft, there was a lot of negativity around Bosa and his behavior, his attitude, the family
politics,
stuff, all that kind of stuff. So, that's not so much there. When I watch Wilson, I think I said it on here before. My thing with him is watching him play with people around him is completely different than watching him play last night. Last night in the first half, he threw 21 passes. I think he kind of one-handed the number of times he actually had to move because somebody was in his face. There's no doubting the fact that the guy has a great arm and can really sling it. I mean, the touchdown pass that he threw down the right sideline in the second half, I think it was. I mean, that's an unbelievable throw. But he has nobody within 5 yards of him. He's standing back there just like Nick Mullins, on the one throw to Richie James, where there's nobody around him. And those kind of throws are easier to make when you have that. So that's my concern with him. I haven't watched enough to really say that's what I think he's going to be. But I haven't. Last night I saw the same. When he got pressure, I saw the same stuff that I saw when I watched him play against Hawaii last season.
Which is what?
Not very good.
Interesting.
I think Zach Wilson would fit in this 49er offense. I think Shanahan, we've seen he can cater his offense to almost any quarterback. But I'm not as concerned with that. I just don't think he's going to be available for the 49ers. I know a lot of people want them to trade up, but I don't see him getting past the Jets. If they do decide to hold on to Sam Darnold, then I don't see him getting past Carolina. The trade-ups can happen, but I don't think he's the guy Shanahan's going to do that for. I would think they would go for Stafford or a veteran before Zach Wilson. If he's there, if the Niners somehow get to pick 5 and he's there, I do think they would take a long, hard look at him. But I don't think he will be the Niners quarterback.
Yeah, I take that character concerns as like a grain of salt. Basically, it's basically him feeling himself like I'm a bad mofo. Cool. That's what I want my quarterback to feel like. Character concerns to me would be like Peyton Manning's situation when he came out of Tennessee and with his trainer. To me, that would be character concerns. Or maybe
whatever Dwayne Haskins did recently. Yeah.
Yes, Dak Prescott getting a DUI before the character concerns. Like, dude, you're about to be drafted a month from now. Why are you driving drunk? Take an Uber. Uber was available at that time. Dak Prescott didn't come out, and it wasn't, where he had to get a cab. And so to not go further on to that, but I think his fit is very well. When he has a good pocket, he throws dimes. But then also when he does have pressure, then the narrative shifts to, oh, okay, well now he's just running around making backyard plays. That doesn't work in the NFL. So I feel like there's no like fair comparison to say, hey, this guy's just good. We don't know if he's Patrick Mahomes. We're not saying he's that, but he's a talented quarterback that should go top 5 in the draft. And with that being said, I think he may be out of the 49ers reach. And I think Trey Lance is probably the guy they take because Trey Lance does have a hell of a lot of potential. Shanahan has experience getting to the playoffs with the run-first quarterback as a rookie with Robert Griffin. So he does have that experience, but I think Trey Lance has a higher upside in his arm. The Jets may just say, hey, we're going to take Zach Wilson here so that we don't have to pay Sam Darnold in a year.
Does swapping out Sam Darnold for Zach Wilson really help change things for?
No, but
Jets?
It's the Jets. It's the Jets.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're very similar, Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's a little faster. Sam Darnold's a little bigger. Maybe Wilson's arm's a little stronger. Maybe. They're very similar, those two. And I think the more that Kyle learns about Zach Wilson, the more he's going to get turned off. And I could be wrong here, but let me say why I don't think Kyle's going to like Zach Wilson. First of all, when I watch Zach Wilson, he plays backyard football. He runs around to run around. Like he has a great offensive line. I don't know about his receivers. Oh, that one dude made that nice diving catch. That was a nice diving catch, by the way, last night. But he has a hell of a pocket most of the time. And he's just like, well, why don't I just extend this play because it's fun? Like I like to do that. And no one can catch me in this when I'm playing, whatever teams he's playing, no one can catch me. And so he has a lot of fun and plays backyard football. Kyle can't stand that. He talks about it. He's like, a lot of guys that make it all the way to the NFL just running around, but you can't do that here. Now, Kyler can do it because he's the best athlete in the NFL. Zach Wilson isn't like that. Zach Wilson, if he plays like this in the NFL, I question his durability. He's going to run around a lot, hold the ball a long time. I wonder about that. Also, he's had shoulder surgery before. If you watch him throw, he's got a real low 3/4 release. And if you've played before, you played baseball, football, that puts a lot of torque on your shoulder. So that's why that happened. And then finally, what they're saying about his character concerns, I'm not saying it's a concern, but if that's what his personality is like, if he's a bit of a diva, a bit of a know-it-all, if he that's not Kyle Shanahan's kind of guy either. He's constantly undercutting his quarterback's ego. He wants a quarterback with no ego, like Kirk Cousins or Nick Mullins. You know what I'm saying? So I could see him looking at Wilson and being like, backyard quarterback, thinks he knows it all. That's going to be a tough guy to coach. I'm just saying, I'm not sure. I don't even know if Kyle Shanahan knows the first thing about Zach Wilson right now. He's focused on the season or something. But the more he learns about him, he might talk himself out of him. And maybe he's wrong to talk himself out of him. Maybe that is the next Aaron Rodgers. I just don't think it's Kyle Shanahan's cup of tea.
Yeah,
right.
I heard the Aaron Rodgers comp last night for the first time. And anybody that thinks he's Aaron Rodgers needs to go back and watch Aaron Rodgers. I think it was 2004 against Cal, or when he was
against USC.
When he played in USC. What Wilson is doing in college is nowhere. No, he lost to him in 2004. But if you beat him in 2003. That's right. If you watch him in 2004 in the Coliseum that day against USC, that's quarterback 101. And he's moving around. He's got guys in his face. It's not anything. When you watch Wilson play with guys in his face, the ball's coming out down here, half sidearm release. Balls are hitting in the ground. Last night, the couple of times that he got pressured, one of them was an incompletion. The other one, the guy's having to dive on a curl to catch the ball. Just a different kind of guy when he's got pressure on him. So I'm really that's where my take on him.
That's a good point about Rodgers, real quick, and I'll let you go, Leo, because I remember that I was in high school. And the thing about Rodgers wasn't his highlights, it wasn't his stats, it was his performance against USC in back-to-back years. He beat him at his first year as a starter, and then when he lost the next year, he might have been like 21-22. Was he something ridiculous, right, Jack?
Yeah, he was. I think at one point he was 21-22, ended up completing 85% because they lost. They drove it down anyway. They had 4 plays from the 10 and weren't able to get in the end zone.
It was legendary. It was like David against Goliath stuff. It was legendary. Yeah, and Zach doesn't have anything like that on his resume. He just doesn't. So it doesn't mean he'll be Aaron Rodgers, but
like I said, I will never say he's Aaron Rodgers, the next Aaron Rodgers with Patrick Mahomes. Can he reach a potential? Sure. I'm never going to cap a guy out unless I think he sucks. With Zach Wilson, according to PFF, I know Niner Nick is going to say, "Oh, you're only using PFF because it fits your narrative." Absolutely,
Absolutely.
No.
only has 4 turnover
Turnover worthy plays.
passes on 353 dropbacks. So that tells me, okay, if he's not running around playing backyard football, well, he could get it done as a quarterback that just drops back and slings it, because that means that rate is better than Trevor Lawrence. That's better than Justin Fields, who has everything schemed up for him at Ohio State. It's better than Trey. Well, I don't know if Trey Lance hasn't played at all this year, but he's better than all the other top prospects at quarterbacks. And that's something that stands out to me, considering he has that backyard style football.
That's from this year, correct, Leo?
Yeah, this year.
Here's a Niners problem when it comes to Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, with his shoulder, I remember watching him against Coastal Carolina this year. He was running with his throwing shoulder, his surgery shoulder, into guys. So that tells me this guy's like, he's feeling good. The shoulder's not bothering him at all.
No, what the thing with the shoulder to me is I worry about it when he's throwing, like down the line. The way he throws the ball. I played baseball. I threw I originally threw with a low 3/4 release until I became an outfielder, and they made me go over the top. And you put a lot of torque on your and I didn't throw 90 miles an hour. Like this guy throws hard, and it's a lot of torque. You really putting that shoulder out there. It could happen again. He's not the biggest dude. Now, maybe if he takes a bunch of roids, it won't happen. But I'm not saying he should do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he does need to put on weight, because even though he's 6'3", he looks like Nick Mullins, his size.
And if he plays this way in the NFL, he's going to get hurt. So he needs to either get bigger
pounds
or get smarter. Yep. He's a tough. But what I'm saying is that the tough part, the tough position the Niners are in is they passed on Watson and Mahomes.
Yes,
they passed on Watson and Mahomes, and now you could talk yourself out of Wilson and Lance. But what if that's the next Watson and Mahomes? I don't think it is. But what if it is? Then you did it twice. Now you did it twice, and now you're really fired, and you never get allowed to work in the NFL ever again. So I think there's a little bit of fright, a little bit of apprehension there. Like, am I going to pass on some freak like I did last time? So I can take a guy like Kyle Trask, who at best is, limited. So I don't know. I like Trask. I don't have to make this decision. My job isn't on the line.